Prophet Isaiah by Skylar Cochran. Who is Isaiah? Born as a son of Amos, he was given the name meaning "the Lord is salvation." He labored as a prophet for 40 years during the reign of 4 different kings: King Uzziah, Jotham, Ahaz, and Hezekiah. Isaiah served as the chief advisor to King Hezekiah, which ultimately helped him be a better prophet. The book of Isaiah was written by Isaiah himself sometime during 740 to 701 BC. Since Isaiah's ministries are centered in Jerusalem, this is most likely the location of the book's origin. Isaiah is the most quoted of all the prophets, being more frequently quoted by Jesus, Paul, Peter, and John in his Revelation than any other Old Testament prophet. That was something that I didn't know that really fascinated me. Isaiah's family. Isaiah had a wife, a prophetess, we know not the name. They were united and worked diligently in serving God. They bore 2 sons, both of whom were given as signs in chapter 8, verse 18. I'm going to totally butcher these names, so I apologize, but they're named Shir Jeshub, which means the remnant return, and Meher Shalel Hashbaz, which means haste, spoil, speed, and pray. Both Isaiah and his wife, being prophetic and the ones that could receive revelation, named their sons significant names. The dream. This is something that is very well known through Prophet Isaiah and is very significant throughout the whole book. Prophet Isaiah received revelation in chapter 1 and 2 concerning the people of Israel. Isaiah loved God and was willing to do whatever asked of him. In chapter 2, it mentions many times of the idols that the people of Israel were worshiping. Their land also is full of idols. They worship the work of their own hands, that which their own fingers have made. And the mean man boweth down, and the great man humbleth himself. Therefore forgive them not. Isaiah chapter 2, verse 8 through 9. Isaiah saw destruction coming to them if they did not turn from their evil ways and begin to obey God's commandments again. It says, your country is desolate, your cities are burned with fire, your land strangers devoured in its presence, and it is desolate, as overthrown by strangers. And that's Isaiah chapter 1, 7. O house of Jacob, come ye and let us walk in the light of the Lord. Isaiah chapter 2, verse 5. As he continues to try to bring these people to God and to get them to stop what they're doing and to stop making idols out of silver and gold and worshiping something man-made, as if they have seen the work of God throughout their lives and they have seen the blessings coming to them, and it astonishes Isaiah that they could turn away from him so easily. In Isaiah chapter 36 through 39, here's a little summary of that. It says, Isaiah describes the invasion of Assyria. King Hezekiah asked Isaiah for advice to prevent the destruction of Jerusalem. So I really like this because it talks about a king, powerful King Hezekiah, he's a very well-known king in the land, and he comes to Isaiah, which would mean that he recognizes him as a prophet and knows that he has this special connection to God. And as King Hezekiah was obviously religious and had some relationship with God as well, and he recognizes that the people literally have no other way, and he does not want his land to go into destruction. So it's a really big deal here. In chapter 40 through 48, another summary says, Isaiah writes about Jesus Christ, who will act as its shepherd to Israel and a light to the Gentiles. The Lord will raise up a deliverer, which is King Cyrus, to free Israel from captivity. This deliverer is a type of Jesus Christ, who will be the true deliverer. Jesus Christ alone will save Israel, and no one will save Babylon. As we know, Babylon was very wicked and was not able to be saved. The key lesson in Isaiah chapter 1, 18 through 20, these are 3 verses that really are significant throughout the whole chapter and are relevant. And the key lesson that Isaiah is trying to get through the people's heads to come to God and to stop what they're doing, because Jesus Christ ultimately knows them, and he has seen revelation that has possibly pointed toward the coming of God, and he knows that this is something very serious, and he wants them to understand. It says, "Come now and let us reason together, saith the Lord. Though your sins be as scarlet, they be as white as snow. Though they be red like crimson, they shall be as wool." I'm going to pause right there. When he talks about their sins being as scarlet, think of it almost as being stained. It's referencing being stained from berries and other things that they might correlate that with. And so it's being dirty, being um, not clean and not pure. Um, so saying, even though that you are filthy and you are sinful, if you come to God and do what I say, then you can have um, pureness about you, and you can be white, and you can be clean again. It says, "If ye are willing to and obedient, ye shall eat the good of the land. But if ye refuse and rebel, ye shall be devoured with the sword, for the mouth of the Lord hath spoken it." Isaiah led wicked people who once knew God. They once honored Isaiah as a prophet and had a testimony of miracles. They began to sin and go against the teachings of the prophet, which led to Isaiah giving a sincere warning to come to Christ and take upon his name in the blood of the Lamb. So, yeah, so he is still trying to get these people to um, lean on what he's saying and to understand that it is coming to the time when Jesus Christ will be coming to the earth, and they need to stop what they're doing. They need to listen, because there's great destruction that will be coming to the land, um, and even the kings, and they're recognizing this, and that they are still diligently trying to find a way to get these people to stop what they were doing. And they eventually did, and kind of a little spoiler, and later in the chapters, they did, and they were able to obey to what Isaiah was telling them, but they still did have to go through things they did not want to go through, like bondage and their families being killed, and just a lot of things that could have been prevented. Here's a picture of a painting of Isaiah the prophet. He's the one sitting down in the chair with the pen and the papyrus, and he is um, having a revelation of the coming of Jesus Christ, as he's a little baby in the corner. And here are some sources. Feel free to take a look at those. All right, thank you for watching.